To college football now, and what a win on Saturday night for Vanderbilt. It was real late. I think it was actually after midnight, early in the morning technically back here, but they were out there in the mountains, Colorado Springs Fort Collins against Colorado State, and they battled back from 14-0 down a week after losing at home. The season opener, the first game of the Clark Lee era at home to an FCS school in East Tennessee State. Lose badly. I mean, it was embarrassing. They said that after the game. They get down again, and they battle back from 14-0 down to take the lead. It's tied up again in the fourth quarter. They get a 2-minute drive. Joseph Bullivas, it's the 38-yard field goal to win the game with 19 seconds left. He's the SEC Special Teams Player of the Week. It's a big win for Vanderbilt. It snaps an 11-game losing streak going back to 2019. And, of course, it's the first win of the Clark Lee era at Vanderbilt. Now they try and build off of that, keep the momentum going as Stanford comes to town off of a huge win in its own right, beating USC Saturday night in the Coliseum, which led to the dismissal of Clay Helton as the Trojans' head coach. Now David Shaw and those Stanford Cardinals come in to West End, to Vanderbilt Stadium on Saturday night to take on Vanderbilt, and we'll see if Vandy can carry over that momentum. Clark Lee earlier today speaking with the media.
Game in the win column, but this is obviously Stanford, a comparable university and a team that you recruit against a lot. So how important and big is this game from that standpoint in terms of competing against this team and showing that you guys can go toe-to-toe with them?
Well, we're excited for the game, the challenge. Obviously, Coach Shaw has kind of been the standard bearer for, having, elite level football and elite level academics. And we want to obviously be right in there in that conversation with them. But to be honest, Robbie, right now for our program in its infancy, it's going to be more about us. This is about our development, our progress, the things we need to work on to improve, to be the best versions of Vanderbilt. So, though we're excited about playing against Stanford and we are invigorated for the challenge, it's not going to be bigger than, can we just show from last week's game.
Teresa.
Clark, with that said, what's the challenge now of trying to build some momentum and build on some of the things that you did right and being able to get that win on the road on Saturday night?
Well, we need to focus on playing better in our stadium. That's going to be a point of emphasis this week. And then starting fast, as well as we played through the middle of the game on Saturday against Colorado State, we put ourselves in a hole that certainly, Colorado State made plays, but, we at times made it easy on them, and we have to do a better job executing on our base structures. It kind of goes back to the same conversation as week one. It's the detail early really cost us. I think what we had last week was the fighting spirit, so we were able to overcome that, and we found our detail and late. There were also some good adjustments made, but sometimes the best adjustments are just doing the fundamental things at a high level. And so we'll focus on starting fast and trying to get out of the gate with a better performance early. Again, the goal would be 4 quarters of dominant football. And until we find a level of consistency doing that, it's going to be hard to put, really good teams away.
Since Joe Rexrode figured out how to use the raise the hand function, I'm going to call on you next, Joe.
That's because Teresa DM'd me. Thank you, Teresa. Clark, I think you mentioned after the game, that you liked what you had on the sideline and that sort of carried you through to the turnaround. But was there any, conversation moment on the sideline that helped sort of shift that game?
We had, put attention to the sideline in preparation. So that was something that, I was looking for. Not in spurts, but as a sustained effort on the sideline. We have 11 players on the field. We have 87 that are not on the field. And so can the 87 that are not on the field be in full support and full force behind the ones that are on? So those were conversations had during the week. We assigned roles, and I felt like those roles were executed well. And so again, I don't know that it was any one point. I think that we celebrated the plays we made. I thought that we supported each other through the adversity. We kept a level of confidence. And in review of the film, there were plenty of times where you could point to a big play being made on the field and the sideline coming out to meet the defense coming off the field, or the celebration of a score. It was just it was a team effort, and looking to replicate that obviously this weekend.
Chris Lee.
Yeah, Clark, I've got an injury question with the follow-up, if you don't mind, please. First of all, I didn't see Ben Bresnahan on your depth chart, and I don't think Derek Green is there yet. I had a few more I wanted to get an update on, but those two first, if you don't mind, please.
Benny is day to day, so we gotta see how he responds, and we're uncertain about his availability right now. But he is going to see how he feels in practice and give it a go. Derek Green is not recovered yet, so he hasn't made his way into full participation yet.
Yeah, a few others. I don't think we saw Patrick Smith last week. He's on the depth chart again. Of course, you had Michael Warden go out late. And I think Malik Langham may have been banged up. He hasn't played a lot. Could you give us an update on those three, please?
Yep. Patrick Smith is absolutely part of the plans. We ended up playing two guys. The running backs compete during the week for the reps. And in week one, Patrick was second, and he got some carries. Week two, Rocco filled that role. Patrick brings a skill set that we want to use and we want to feature, and so he's going to be a part of the plan. Saturday was just about how the game shook out in terms of reps. Malik Langham's cleared to play. He's been dealing with more of a pain tolerance issue than anything else. So he's structurally fine. We have to get him to find confidence, and assuming he'll be going at it this week and ready to play on Saturday. And then with Michael Warden, no structural damage. It's a sprain. Sprains can be a challenge. And so we're going to see how he responds here early in the week, but we're unsure right now of his availability.
Aria, thanks for being patient. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So just first, a quick clarification of which body part Michael Warden sprained.
His ankle.
Okay. And then also, so, even though, you guys won last week, it was kind of a continuation of the allowing big plays on defense, both against ETSU and Colorado State. So, what are some ways that you can that you're targeting to tamp down on that, before SEC play?
Well, it kind of goes back to the starting fast. I felt like we early in the game, particularly in the first two drives, there were a lot of structural issues. So, we're not leveraging the formation the right way, or maybe we're missing a key. And so what happens is twice in that drive, the first play of the game and maybe the third play, you had the tight end uncovered. One time in the flat where he got up the sideline, one time on an over where Anthony Orgy's kind of scrambling to pick up what was lost coverage at the line of scrimmage. It was just an eye violation at the line and kind of got picked off by the umpire, and they completed an over. Those were two big gains that were – he's a fine player, their tight end, but he's really good when you don't cover him, So that is about detail and structure. Those aren't hard things either. It's just I think anytime you're dealing with what's new as a program, it's like there's a lot of learning that goes in to playing games. And you had a team that was in big personnel and using motions and condensed formations to create some challenges in terms of our eye discipline. And then to finish that first drive, we had an uncovered tailback in the flat. So again, that's an execution issue. And that's where we're putting our time and attention, just tightening up the details. I thought once we got going, the big plays weren't there for Colorado State. I thought we played more physically up front. And, once we settled into the game, I was really proud of how the defense responded. thought Jesse and his staff did a good job making adjustments. But like I said to you, sometimes the best adjustments are anticipating what the offense is doing and doing a better job at executing your base. Late in the game, the play on the sideline to the tight end should have been, a double. It should have been doubled. So there should have been one on top, one underneath. We ended up leaving the corner on his own. He was a little tight in his coverage. And again, that's a structural breakdown. And that's not, execution is not a player issue. It's a coach issue first. And so, we look at how we're teaching that, how we can create a better understanding, how we can get the calls in sooner to settle the players down, things that we can do on our end to help facilitate the performance. Obviously big plays, are killer to a defense, particularly big plays that score touchdowns. And so we have to, continue to grow comfort in our systems and schemes, and address the areas where we have issues. And I expect to be better in that respect this weekend.